everyone. Thought I would give you a quick tour of my studio that I work in. It's always interesting to poke around in someone else's studio, so let's have a walk there and have a little look. So, walking past my area, husband's garage area, studio cat, always got to have a studio cat, just some of my land, big old bonfire pile that's got to be burnt down. A beautiful view. I mean, just the big clouds alone are inspirational. So I'll spin round into the studio. Studio cat going first? No? Excellent. Right. Oh, there we go. It's coming in. Shut the doors so I don't hear the crow scarers. So we've got my bookcase, which is supposed to hold kind of spares of things at the top, pens, scissors, my Bluetooth speaker because I've got a bit of music when I'm working, paints as much as possible, although you will see quite a paints out, and then various bits and bobs. So this is my kind of mark making shapes. You know, if I want proper circles, it's all easy to pull off. If I want to do a load of dabbing or blending, I've got an old makeup sponge, classic bubble wraps, scrapers, all sorts of things. My drawers of mini things, or many things. So shells, jewellery, gold leafing, all things shiny, you know, all the important things. Down here is plastics for paint pouring, or just for if I want to do a little bit of mixing. So when I was doing Flower Child recently, that was just to do some mixing of some of the dark colours. I didn't need a great big paint palette put out. Old microwave tray for putting my paint pours on, so when they drip over the edges, it doesn't stick to it. And then the bottom shelf is kind of gloves and all my kind of art journaling, I guess, and things that I've done over time. So let's grab one, let's see what's in here. Yeah, so art journaling, trying to look at composition. That actually became a painting, that one, that became a flower. Different shapes when I'm trying these. That was my water series, just what the shapes could be and mean within that. And that was trying to get all the colours that I want for my water series, how I'm going to mix them. All good fun, the mixing. In fact, probably in here, you'll probably find, yeah, there's a lot of mixing going on. Look at the amount of different colours you can get. I mean, it's quite crazy. Started playing with inks and all sorts of things. So yeah, just a really good space. And I like to have these in here, not my posh art books, you know, that someone else has done, but my art books, because they're inspirational. If you get stuck, you just think, well, what did I used to like doing? Also, there's my cat to chew, apparently, because, you know, what cat doesn't like to eat a bit of paper? So on the easel currently, let's have a look. So this was done this morning, and I just fancied thicker paint with what I thought was going to be really pale white, because I hardly put any colours into them. But as they're drying, the colours are coming out and the white is moving back, which is absolutely fine, but it's a bit strange. So if you can see there, you know, it's really quite thick, but really good fun. No idea what that's going to become. Just wanted to do it, needed to do it. And then we've got what is a very pale, so I don't know how well that's going to come up on camera at all, but that's the idea. Again, felt the need to do it, and this is a whole part, I guess, of my intuitive painting, that I felt the need to do it, but currently I have no idea if is it done, or will that become a background for something stronger, or will it end up being painted over completely, because I just don't know what it's going to be. Behind it, I've got my whiteboard for if suddenly ideas come to mind. At the moment, it's this white stuff and dragons, so I don't need to keep that written down. So it's clean for fresh ideas. I've got my drawing desk, which can angle and tilt, so it can go up and down. Not currently in use. I think I've been using it for this one, and I've moved her to dry, so that's a useful tool. Then I've got some bits hanging on my wall, not really to dry, they've been done a while, but they're just there to inspire me and to, yeah, have some work in here, which is nice, and they sit nicely in my corner. I've got my little, what I call my hairdresser's rack. It's not a hairdresser's one, but I'm sure it's very similar to their trolleys, with things like these, if I put things away and tuck them into boxes, I'll never get the boxes out and I'll forget I've got them. So I've got inks of various types on the bottom. I've got various different mediums in here that I can play with, and different glues and permanent whites and things. And somewhere in there's hairspray for charcoal. And then I've got buckets which have got my rough brushes in, water bottles, all my other things that I tend to use as I'm doing. So all my different paint brushes. I don't own lots of brushes. What I own though, I use a lot. And I particularly love my Chinese style brushes. They're just, it's nice long handles. You've got to love a brush. I've got some salt and some other mediums there, some watercolour, and a spare pot at the moment, which probably means my miniature charcoals are missing. They'll be around somewhere. Then I've got my drying rack, so double-sided, to have my pieces in. At the moment, nothing precious on there. I think it's just pretty much junk stuff that I've been playing with. Chairs and a little TV table. Now, I got these for a workshop that I've been running, and they are really handy for standing next to my easel or for sitting out and painting. So I'm really pleased I ran the workshop, because now I've also got them to play with. And this is to prove that artists can be quite rubbish. So I was trying to do an exercise to create blacks without using too much black. So these middle bits drying off will enable me to see if I can do what I've done with the white picture, but do it with blacks. However, I had loads of paint left over that I didn't really want to use anything else. So I started just kind of, you know, playing. Then I ended up doing this creature. Don't really know what that is. And a beautiful little swirl, which was fun to do. If I spin it round, I did a couple of lines, which were these shapes here I did just because of the blue and the yellow make a really gorgeous green. And then this one just looked like a horse, so I made him into a sort of horse. And this one looked a bit like a peacock. Well, I went a bit wrong, but you know, it's all good. It was good fun. And this was just because I had some red and black left. Who knows? Who knows why? Sometimes it's meditative just to paint. And then what was this one going to be? Oh, yeah. I think this one was like a dragony thing. Hard when you don't know your own work, isn't it? So I've been painting dragons a lot, so I was just playing with wings, really. Wings forward, what you do with the tail end, that kind of thing. So anyway, just to prove, really just to prove that, you know, it's not all class that I do. It isn't for anybody. It's all good fun and play. Anyway, back to where we were. Middle table. So I don't have running water. I don't have electricity or anything in here. So I've got my kettle for water. I have this light because I do have, oops, over here, power brick. So I can turn the lights on if I want. And then this table, which seriously needs tidying up. I don't work on this table anymore, but this was when I first started working. This was my only table, and it used to be up in my bedroom that I had it, or in the spare room. So it does need a tidy up. Paints need taking off, but you know, it'll come, it'll come. Comfy studio chair. That is my heater in winter, so that's a diesel heater. So again, powers from the power brick, but then comes up. Just first picture I did once I moved into the studio. It's quite weird coming into a big space, and I found it really hard to paint, so that was just a play piece when I came to the studio. That I totally love. A screen in case I need it. My drawers that are very messy at the moment. So they've got my feathers on, they've got my papers on, they've got part of the stuff from the workshop, I think. Yeah, sitting there. One of my favourite little abstract pieces that I did. Not really normally my style. And in the drawers, you can see in this drawer I've got my stencils, old inks, some tracing paper and a lot of my tapes. And then the bottom one is all of my actual papers. So all my watercolour papers. Then I've got, oh, sorry everyone, dragons. Said I was doing a lot of dragons. So this is nearly done. It might actually be done. I can't quite make up my mind. So today was doing the gold on the eggs. I don't know how well that comes out, but that's been have rose gold leafing put on it. I do love leafing. So that was great fun. So I'll have a separate video of how she came to be. Into this corner, these cupboards just hold rags and various electric bits and tools. Old frames, a couple more TV trays. There's my mini charcoal that belonged in that tray. There's my lady on her easel. Always fun to play with a bit of charcoal. And again, another lovely view. I do get them all the way around, which is really nice. Rusty things that I've been doing some flower dyeing. So the rust was part of that dyeing process. And that's my watercolours on the bottom, paint pouring stuff in the middle, and then kind of varnishes and things up at the top. So I'm going to open the door because I've got my other cat now. Want it to come in? Because you've got to have your studio cats, that's what I say. And yeah, that's a tour of my gaff. So if you've got any questions about what I do or where I saw things or whys, then yeah, just put them in the comments, let me know, and I'll let you know. Thanks. Bye for now.